And welcome to another episode of the Philly BroCast. I am your host, Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Enjoying the beautiful weather and nice little Phillies run we got going on here.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that, and we'll obviously get into the Phils in just a second. But yeah, lots of kind of exciting things happening that we, as of last week, were a little depressed about. Things certainly can change in a week. So, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But obviously, as we always start out, we always start talking Birds. OTAs were this week. One thing that I'm not sure if you were, kind of following, whether it be, on Twitter or, sports radio or whatever, just all the reports that were coming out. One thing that stood out to me is how much Jalen Hurts looks to be much improved. He's hitting his receivers. He's going, 4 for 4 on drives, 7 for 8. He's hitting, AJ Brown over Slay. He's, doing this, doing that, and improving the things that we've been talking about all offseason. Nick Sirianni has come out and said how impressed he is with, the things that Jalen Hurts has been working on this offseason. It's again, it's we don't obviously know. We're not really seeing it, but these are the things that you want to hear about the most controversial player on this team, if you will, about the success of this season. So I'm happy with what I've been hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been hearing very similar things. Just looking crisp, clean, delivering the ball quickly and accurately. His release has been looking fantastic. I take it with a grain of salt, as most of us should, considering that it's not live play. But if you're looking better, that's a huge step forward, and that's something that we need this season, especially that AJ Brown connection. I mean, we've talked about it and kind of harped on it a little bit, but to be honest, like, this is your best friend. This is the connection that every quarterback probably dreams about, to have his best friend play football with him and have that chemistry. So, I mean, if that's the case, let's go.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's I think we've been through enough off seasons to kind of know that you don't always get the greatest of news about your players, and the fact that we're getting positive reviews, we're getting not only just he's looking good, but he's improving on the things that we've been wanting him to improve on, going through the reads, accuracy, precision, staying in the pocket, all the things that we really want him to improve on. He appears to have been working on that all off season, which is fantastic news. So I'm excited about it. And somebody brought this up to me the other day, and talking about Jalen Hurts and whether or not he is the franchise quarterback, whether he's going to be here long term, yada yada yada. And he brought up a good point, and he said, "Well, listen, would AJ Brown sign a 4-year extension, knowing without that guarantee of saying, hey, listen, Jalen Hurts is our guy, sign here for 4 years, and you get to play the next 4 years with your best friend." I would assume that would be something that AJ Brown would want some assurances on. No,
I mean, I would hope that that's the case, but then again, it's like a used car salesman. You're trying to get rid of the car no matter what. It might not run the way that you say it does, but you sell the car. So what I'm thinking of is they kind of use some slick words, something like that, because I mean, like we've been talking about, if you have a crappy season from Jalen Hurts, do you think he's really going to stick around whether his best friend's here or not? I mean, I think that we've just shored up this team so much that if it does not work out with Jalen Hurts, we can get somebody in here that, hopefully it does work out. I think that was something said to him like, "Hey, if Jalen does well and we sign him for X amount of years, X amount of dollars, whatever, then hey, you get to play with your best friend." That's something that is true,
Perhaps,
but
yeah.
is that really the case? Because also in the end, you got a lot of money, and
Again. But
that's
again,
one thing
would,
that can
would, would
sway
he
you.
take right? Would he take playing with his best friend over the potential of winning a Super Bowl?
I mean, it sounds good now, but again, I can't believe somebody would have told him, "You come here for 4 years, Jalen Hurts will be here for 4 years." I just can't see that of being said.
I don't necessarily maybe in those terms, but I would assume that maybe something of saying like, listen, like we plan on having Jalen Hurts as our quarterback moving forward.
That's a great way to put it. That's excellent word
But
usage
thank
because
you.
that is exactly what they said to him. We plan on
Um,
having Jalen
right,
and
right,
you
right.
play for the foreseeable
Hey,
future.
listen. Hey, listen, Howie. If you need an assistant, I already got the terminology down. I'll talk to anybody you want. I'll say however you like it. I'm done.
Yep,
I'm good. I'm good.
there you go.
Um, but yeah, so again, so far so good. Now, official training camp doesn't start until mid July. Obviously, OTA still has a little bit left, but there's going to be a little bit of a break in between the OTAs and training camp. So, again, we will have a little bit of a lull as far as, information kind of coming to us and all of that. So, hopefully at that point, this team, feels after OTAs, it's starting to gel as there are a lot of new pieces. And we'll certainly, in later shows, we'll kind of talk about the importance of some of those new key additions. But right now, I think I just want to get your impressions of the new pieces. Can you give me one on offense and one on defense that you are most looking forward to being out there opening day, watching them in Eagle Green?
I'm sorry to do it. I'm gonna have to take the two easiest ones, in my opinion. I think they're easy, but AJ Brown and Bradbury, both sides of the
Okay.
ball, in which we needed that second guy, that second stud, to be on the opposing side of the field from our other stud. So on the other side of Slay and on the other side of Smith, now you have solid pieces, and I can't wait to see because somebody said it. Either way, the game against the Vikings, you're going to see Justin Jefferson score a touchdown. But how easy was it? What about the rest of his game? If
Right.
he's 3 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, I'll kind of take that.
I'll kind of take that too, honestly.
So,
Um,
I mean, that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, whether it be Slay or Bradbury, guarding somebody who is as explosive as Justin Jefferson.
right.
I would love to see that matchup. And then conversely, on the other side, Minnesota's secondary is not full of scrubs. So AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, just getting out there and doing their thing. So I'd love to
Yeah.
see one of those like big plays right off the bat to AJ Brown. That would be great.
A la
Um,
To
a la
against
T.O.
what was that, Washington?
Yeah, first play
First
down the
play.
sideline.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think AJ Brown is the clear cut easy choice. Just considering there isn't a lot of new players on the offensive side. Um, so I will say I'll say him. But on defense, I'm gonna go with N'Kobe Dean. You know me, I love my linebackers.
Linebacker.
I really really want to see one, if the injuries really are an issue. If and obviously that's something that I am going to be heavily looking at throughout training camp and everything, and all the information we're getting in the offseason, is how I just want his reports. Honestly, I want to see injury wise, is anything hampering, lingering, slowing him down in any way? I'd like to just kind of hear of the progression, and I really want to see and hear about him making plays. And if, again, there's no talk of injury and there's only talk of him, Kobe Dean came out of nowhere and went sideline to sideline, or, made an amazing play in the backfield during, training camp or whatever, that would be exactly what I want to hear. So that's who I'm definitely going to be focusing on, because, again, if those injuries aren't, what we had all feared, and the reason why he dropped in the draft, and, all the reports that came out about the, this, that, and the other, the pec, this, the arm, the leg. If those aren't as severe or non-factors, this kid's going to be amazing. And that's all I want. I want clean bills of health every day. And I just want, Kobe Dean made this great play, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to really help and transform our defense if we get a healthy, full 100% Nakobe Dean. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm so excited about it, because you also have Hassan Reddick. You have White. You also still have TJ Edwards, who's been, kind of the forgotten man at this point, who has progressed in his few years in the NFL. So, having, a lot of talent and, little veteran presence with Hassan Reddick, would only help, TJ Edwards. So, and not only TJ Edwards, but you have Sean Bradley, you have Davion Taylor. Like, these are other guys that are going to benefit from having the talent level raised in that room. So I'm very excited about the linebackers. And like I said, Nakobe Dean is definitely my choice and my player to watch throughout this offseason for sure.
Yeah. Another guy that I'm a little bit excited about to see kind of where he shakes out, and, hoping that he makes the team, is Kyron Johnson, another linebacker that we got.
So you forgot about him as well.
Another young guy, 6 foot, 235. It's good size for a linebacker. I think that he showed a lot of skill, like fundamentals, and he's somebody that I'd like to keep an eye on as well, especially going through the OTAs and then the upcoming training camp. Quick question for you. Are you looking for some of the leaders on this team to take that time between, when they're done the OTAs and training camp, to kind of
get people together?
Get people together. Like, you hear Jalen Hurts taking the offense somewhere and going to work with like a QB coach / wide receiver coaches. Do you want, somebody to step up and take out the secondary, like Darius Slay is like, hey, secondary, we're going to go do this? Or like, who are you looking for to do that? And who would you be excited to step forward into that type of leadership role?
I think naturally Jalen Hurts is certainly going to do that. You've seen that he's already, kind of already done that. Even last year, earlier this year, getting, some of the wide receivers together, and just throwing, I think they were down in like Texas. That's an easy one for me. But I also, think that somebody like, whether it's Brandon Graham or Fletcher Cox, somebody kind of defensive line wise, to help kind of, with Jordan Davis coming into the fold, with, Milton Williams, still a young kid. What's his face? The other, Taron Jackson, again, some of these younger players that, maybe they, again, get together and, work on moves and discuss technique and all of that. I think that would certainly be something I would love to hear about. Like you said, Slay is a nice, easy one. Um, and as far as linebackers go, I think Hassan Reddick's an easy one too, because he's basically coming into you know as kind of the best linebacker, if you will, or edge, or whatever you want to call him. But he's the vet now. He's the vet, and there are already a lot of young linebackers that we have. And yeah, I would love for him to kind of take the linebacking group under his wing and kind of roll that way. That would be fantastic for sure. But to honestly answer your question, if I really want to give one person, it's Jason Kelsey taking Cam Jurgens
under the old eagle wing.
Under the old eagle wing, and saying, "Hey, listen, kid, you're going to be taking over for me. Let me give you everything I got. Let me tell you everything I know. Let me give you all the tricks right up front, and we can keep the Eagles having sustained success and talent at the center position for years and years to come."
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I did like the BG, that reference. I mean, he already seems like he's got that swag, that locker presence.
Yeah.
I just don't. I know that last year when he was hurt, he was up in the defensive, the box, like watching games, kind of helping out, always there for the team. So I'm kind of hoping that he would be also another guy that would kind of step in and talk to some of these young guys and just kind of maybe even take them out on a trip or something like that, where they can clear their heads and just get ready for the upcoming training camp and just be like, this is time where we hone our skills. This is a time when we come together as a team and we can really improve on all of our fundamental skills. And I think that would be huge, because he is a presence, man.
He is. What's going on there, Mr. Crackpot? What up? We will see you momentarily in about a half an hour.
What kind of watch you got on there, friend?
Oh, I don't have any watch, as you can see.
Okay.
Gotcha. I just looked at my hand like I had a watch.
3 freckles past the wrist.
Yep. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. But yes, those are definitely some of the players I think we both can agree on would be great to kind of step up. Excuse me. So speaking of things to kind of watch, we haven't really gotten into position battles. And what is your top 3 position battles that you're looking forward to? And it could just be a position. It could just be a player versus B player. What's your top 3 right now going into, as we finish up OTAs and we're eventually going to get into the nitty gritty of training camp?
Yeah, I mean, just going by position, I would say that safety area, kind of see how that shakes out. Who's going to be the guy who steps up?
So Marcus Epps, Kevon Wallace,
Harris.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume Harris has the one starting spot.
Yeah, I mean, then again, you never know. Somebody could step up, and I mean, I would agree, but just saying. Again, linebacker, that's another great position to see who's going to kind of step up, be the leader. Yeah, how that shakes down. And then I'm always interested in the, Quez Watkins, Pascal, some other guys. But I think the real one that I'm looking for, the one that I'm most interested in is tight end. Like, who after Dallas Goedert? Yeah, I almost said it. Who after Dallas Goedert is going to be the number 2 tight end?
Right. No, that's a good one. Again, you have Jack Stoll, you have Calcaterra, the rookie. You have Jackson, who, we saw before he got hurt, man, that guy, you just noticed him out on the field. I mean, when we were down there in
Monster.
practice last year, he towers over everybody and caught everything that was thrown his way. Now, obviously, he, is coming off of another major injury, which is just unfortunate. But, you know, if he's kind of, able to kind of come back in time for the season, I don't know off the top of my head his ETA as far as when he'll be ready. I'm pretty sure he got hurt in the last game and tore his ACL, so I would assume he's not going to be in training camp, unless he's a monster, but or Adrian Peterson apparently. But yeah, no, that's a good one. I think for me, my number one is right guard. A lot of people are kind of, when you see like I'll see like rankings of offensive lines, and they always have Isaac Seumalo penciled in as the starter, and it looks like he's going to be the one getting the first kind of crack at it, according to the information coming out of OTAs. But don't sleep on Jack Driscoll. I think he did a great job when he was in there. He kind of, was more designed to be playing tackle originally, but he obviously has the guard experience. And now that he got a chance to actually play, I think he's just going to kind of roll with it. And I personally think Driscoll will probably be the winner, and we might be seeing a Seumalo trade potentially, just given the fact that, if he's kind of going to be the super sub, well, he's making a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but $5 million that I'm sure that they can alleviate elsewhere. So that's number one. I think Quez, to me, has the number 3 spot. I'm more interested in 4 and 5. With Pascal, with Rager, with Ward, with Hightower, with, whoever. I'd like to see how that shakes out, because, I'm assuming that Rager and Pascal will be 4 and 5, maybe flip Pascal, then Rager. And I'm going to kind of assume that, outside of maybe keeping a 6, wide receiver that might be a returner only, I would assume that Greg Ward is probably out the door. But again, I'm interested in seeing how that shakes. And then last but not least, I am very curious now about CB4. I think with Bradbury coming in, we have our CB2. Maddox has done great in the nickel and can kind of play all over, play a little, safety if need be. But I want to see whether, Zach McPherson is going to step up and take that role. Whether, Tay Gowan from that we got in the Ertz trade will step up. The plethora of undrafted rookie free agents that we brought in, where are they going to shake out? Are they going to be in the mix? There's a lot of players and corners that are after Avonte Maddox that need to get figured out. So I'm kind of seeing and wondering who's going to step up and who's going to be, part of this team that kind of solidifies the back end of the corner position. Let's say, Mr. Crockpot, just a minute. You're beyond excited to see Jalen Rager this year. Love Rager.
Nope.
No.
Just the name itself gives me acid reflux.
I don't blame you. I truly don't. But yeah,
I'm just looking at the line of cornerbacks that we have. I mean, guys, I forgot that we had Josh Blackwell
right.
from
There's
Duke,
so many
Mario
corners.
Goodrich from Clemson,
Right. Another one.
Mac McCain from North Carolina A&T. Sorry, I
Right.
don't think he's making it.
Not
Jimmy,
gonna be on the roster anymore.
there's a guy right there, Jimmy Moreland.
Oh, I keep forgetting about Jimmy Moreland. That
Yes.
was a great pickup. I think he's going to absolutely be in the mix. I think that was a good addition. And yeah, like I said, they have a ton of talent. They have Josh Blackwell. Craig James is still around. Undrafted free agent Josh Joby. I'm pretty sure you mentioned Mac McCain.
Yep.
Josiah Scott, Gary Vincent. There are a ton. There's just
I mean,
a
some of
ton.
these guys got to have some crazy speed and hit pretty well because they're like 4 inches shorter than I am.
And that's pretty short.
I mean, 5'9", 5'8". Some
That's
of
pretty
these
short.
guys, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of cornerbacks that we have to decide from. I guess that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I think it'll make the shakeout of the room, the cornerback room, a little bit easier, considering you have three that are absolute locks. I would assume McPherson is a pretty good lock. Outside of that, I don't know if I could say anybody else is a lock. Like Tate Gowan, I assume will step up and be on this team, but I don't know that. I don't know. I just think, again, McPherson coming into his second year, they're most likely not going to cut him, considering he was a third rounder, fourth rounder, third or fourth rounder. I don't know. I mean, it's not unfathomable, but again, I think given the circumstance, I think they'd like to see what he has. So, so there you have it. I was going to say before we transition on over, let me make sure I tell everybody to go to la-terrain.com, which is the official sponsor of the Philly Sports Alliance. They make amazing watches that are just very affordable, high quality stuff. If you use code PSA, you'll get site-wide discounts. They also have sunglasses. They have watch bands. They have other cool stuff. So check them out, www.la-terrain.com. And as you have probably been seeing, as I had it on the bottom earlier, about our wonderful partnership with the Painted Lines. Mr. Crackpot is the leader of the Painted Lines, a gentleman who was commenting a little earlier, who apparently thinks we all love Rager over here. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yes, we are kind of helping each other out. We are streaming on their YouTube. They are streaming on our Facebook. So you can check out all of their shows on our Facebook and check out all of our shows on their YouTube. But if you haven't checked out the Painted Lines yet before, please head on over to thepaintedlines.com. Not only do they have fantastic shows just like we do here at the Philly Sports Alliance, they have articles coming out constantly. They have really great videos of kind of breaking down film and especially in season for the Birds. Great reaction episodes and again, breakdown of film after each game. So please check them out, the Painted Lines. And if you are watching on their YouTube, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for making us a part of your watching. And then last but not least, as we have a lot of bills to pay here, apparently. Although I never seem to see any of that money. But yes, the logo right up here. Six-pack coverage. Please make sure that you head on over to there you go. Head on over to sixpackcoverage.com. We have officially joined their network, and they have a much kind of broader reach nationally. They are based out of Tennessee, so we are kind of bringing the Philly flavor down To the south, we are joined by our brother network, CEV Sports, doing the Philly takeover down there. So all of our shows and information can be seen on sixpackcoverage.com. So please head on over. Not only do they have sports podcasts, but they have just general entertainment podcasts. They have travel, food, fitness, finance, whatever you're kind of into. They have something for you. And they're constantly putting out content. They're huge on Instagram. So check them out, sixpackcoverage.com, to check out all our stuff on there as well. So, all right. Bills paid. Fineran, take us on.
Talk Phillies.
I know you've been dying to talk some Phils, brother.
Yes, sir. With the June 1st win over San Francisco, which was a nice win to have, you rolled into a series with an amazing team in the LA Angels, and you went ahead and swept them. I'm sorry, they are a very talented team.
They are very talented, but they're poorly ran, and they were on I think now they are official like a 12-game losing streak, which is unfathomable considering the talent they have on their team.
Yes, and to take advantage of their slump was fortuitous. Our bats were going. I mean, just that first game on Friday night, that 10-0 win, it was an exclamation point to the Joe Girardi firing, which I think we all had been waiting for. And
I remember again to mention our brothers over at CEV. I'm pretty sure Chris, who hosts a few shows with us here at the Philly Sports Alliance as well, pretty much every single day tweeted like, "Oh, what a great day! The sun's shining. Wouldn't it make it even wonderful if Joe Girardi got fired today?" He must have done it for like a week and a half straight, and then finally it happened. He was like, "Did it."
Spoke it into existence. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
I mean, let me tell you, I think I even defended him a little bit on this show.
You did.
Just because of his, his past, and he's got a great baseball mind. You can't deny that that's the case, but what he was lacking was conviction. What he was lacking was determination to turn this team around, to make adjustments in which that needed to be made that weren't popular, and get these guys moving. It was a stale voice in the clubhouse, and it had to be changed. And
obviously
loving what they've been doing since that day. And with the sweep of the Angels and getting, I think we're 2 games back of the Braves and just 4 games below 500. Hopefully we can kind of build momentum, and then we can get to that critical point that you were talking about. That I think we have 13 more days or 15 more days until the 22-day mark from when we spoke last.
Yeah. And then we'll see whether or not we'll truly be panicked. But I listen. I think we all thought higher of Joe Girardi, and we expected a lot more, and we didn't get it. And the simple fact that Gabe Kapler technically had a better record than Joe, and just again, Kapler's doing great right now. He found his feet, but Girardi just I don't know, like he just seemed like he was a little clueless out there of how to manage this team. Like, we've seen him do it before, and we've seen him do it with this team. But some of the moves were just flat out puzzling. And I think, that began to kind of wear maybe on some of the players, and, it just had a trickle down effect. And towards the end there, it just, again, like you said, it seemed like he probably lost the locker room and just didn't have that authority anymore.
Yeah, when
It
there's a lack
just
of motivation to play for the guy that you're playing for. I mean, we all know they're playing for the Phillies, they're playing for the fans and
right.
everything like that. But your manager should be your general, the guy that's leading the troops.
Yeah.
And he fell from like general to lance corporal real quick, and
Nice.
we kind of watched it happen. It was weak. So I'm not
Let, let, let,
surprised at the move.
listen,
No, I
it
don't
was
think
great.
anybody was.
No, it was a great opportunity, to play the Angels coming off the firing. And, again, anytime you kind of shake things up, it's either going to go one or two ways. And they obviously went great with it. They obviously fed off of that and really took it to them, for two games. Obviously, things weren't looking great in that third game, but then Harper heroics with the grand salami to tie it up. They give up the lead again, and then Stott comes back in, Vegas connection, 3-run jack, wins the whole thing.
Walk off.
Um, yeah, walk off. What a great way to sweep. Again, like you said, a talented team that's just a little lost. In fact, they just fired their manager Joe Madden today. So
One
12,
hand.
12 losses will do it. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. Obviously, they're playing right now against Milwaukee, right? Yeah.
That is tomorrow.
Uh,
I think we're off today.
Are we off
No,
today?
you're right. They're playing now. 8-10. 8-10's the game. I know it didn't start yet.
Oh no, I got an alert that it was earlier. Oh, that was my bad. All right, well,
I'm
perfect. Then I
looking
didn't miss.
here. It
I
says
didn't miss anything.
8-10.
Yeah, I see it too. It's at the Brewers. So yeah. Listen, the Brewers are obviously a decent team. They're 33-23. Phils are 25-29, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not certainly going to be an easy time. It's not the Angels again, but again, if their bats are hitting like they have been, I mean, they've been scoring some good runs. I mean, what? Trying to think of what was it? So they won 10-0 in the first game. What was the second game? 7-0,
Oh,
6-0.
yeah. I mean, they're at 26 runs in the last 3 games,
Yeah,
32 in the last 4.
yeah. Okay, so that's pretty good to me. Averaging 8 runs a game. So, if the bats are going to be where they're at right now and they're clicking on all cylinders, I don't see that there's many teams that can compete with us, bat for bat.
No, I
So,
agree. It's tough because this year alone, we had that 3-game series against the Brewers, and the Phillies took 1 game, but it didn't feel like a win. Like it felt like we got swept in that series, and I think this is going to be a tough test for them, simply because, like you said, they're a pretty decent team. They have good defense, so we really need to be finding those gaps. Really needed to mine the shifts. Check everything out. Like you were saying, now that we have Joe Girardi gone, you have a new voice there. I believe that's sparking these guys to be smart at the plate. And
yeah,
with the bats going, I'll take 8 runs a game.
yeah. So obviously we are what? I mean, what? We're a little
54.
over 54 games. So obviously, yeah, we're about a third of the way there. Now, obviously, a lot can happen between now and a trade deadline, but if they start trending up a little bit and start clawing back, do you think the Phillies would be smart in making a move and just saying, screw it, let's grab an actual center fielder or a starting pitcher or whatever, and just saying, hey, listen, we're already paying the luxury tax. Why not just go for it and bring somebody in here and make a run for it? because they could easily make the playoffs if they get even quasi hot.
Yeah, I mean, no one's catching the Mets. I think that's going to be the case for the
Probably.
rest of the year. But to catch and beat the Braves is very likely, and to hold everyone else off, I can see that. So yeah, I think that if they want to go after a center fielder and maybe a starting pitcher, or kind of work some magic around where you can maybe get a starting pitcher and a relief pitcher, that would be fantastic. Although Odubel Herrera hasn't been doing terribly. I mean, he's not the center fielder that we deserve
or want,
but he has been serviceable, especially at the plate. I mean, he's batting .270. It's not terrible.
No, it's not. But I think at this point, I want to see Moniak. I want to see Moniak in there every day. I want to see what the kid has. Stop screwing around. Throw him in there and just let's go. Let's see what he's got. Because if he can get hot, we've seen Moniak smash. He can. So let him do it. Harper even said, you got to play the young kids. Play the young kids. Play Stott. Play Moniak. Keep him in the lineup as often as you can.
I mean, he was a first-round pick for a reason.
Right. So let him sink or swim. Let him sink or swim.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. But yeah, hopefully they continue against the Brew Crew and, keep this little win streak going because, listen, something as simple as a managerial change in any sport can be the spark or the, the fire under the ass that a team might need. And clearly this team has talent. It's not devoid of talent. So it's either just fundamentals or lack of motivation or both. And hopefully this changed that perspective.
Yeah, two things before we get out of here. One thing, have you seen any of the memes about Rob Thompson? Where it's like Rob Thompson, the guy that's just managing the team right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, about the Marlboro Lights?
He looks like a guy that smokes a pack of Marlboro Lights, tailgates, and, drinks Miller Lights at the tailgate. I was like, wait a second. That's us.
Yeah, that's what we do. He's one of us. He's one of us. Yeah. I did see that. That was absolutely hilarious.
Wow, that's great.
Golden.
And second thing is the weekly trivia question. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult. I've given you some layups. You've gotten, I think you're 4 for 5 since we've come back.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been pretty decent. You have given me some softballs, but we'll see.
This one is no softball. I mean, it might be for you, but in 2000, the Eagles selected this defensive end who left training camp before the first preseason game to pursue a musical career. Who is that person? The only reason why I think that you would know it is just because 2000, that's your wheelhouse of I know you were, into the Eagles very much.
Sure.
So 2000, they selected
2000, and you said first round? No,
I did not. Just said that they selected him. I will give you the school that he went to as a hint. He went to Utah.
Utah, early 2000s. I mean, he was a defensive end. Wait. So he left to go pursue a music career.
Yep.
I feel like I should know.
Doesn't say that he was successful, but it does say that he later started rejoining the NFL.
That was the year we drafted Corey Simon in the first round. So, okay. That's why I was a little confused. You said first round. I was like, that's not right. Wasn't that the year we drafted Pinkston too? I think it was. Okay. I'm just gonna pull it out of my ass here because I can't remember if this was 2000, but is it John Frank?
What did you type that in? That's amazing. You got it.
But seriously, it is.
You got it 100%. That is amazing.
I for whatever reason, I just that name always stuck out.
You should have never trusted him from the beginning. He has 2 first names.
Well, there's that. Man, let's hope he doesn't wear a tunic. Anyway, yeah, no, I just was thinking of who got drafted. That's all. But all right, well, we are heading on out of here. We appreciate everybody for listening and checking us out. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe, review, whatever all the buttons tell you to do. And again, make sure you're checking out the Painted Lines, six-pack coverage, and of course, La Terrain watches, as they all are part of the Philly Sports Alliance family. So that's it for us. We will see you guys next week. For the Philly BroCast, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. Peace out, bros.
Later, brah. Everybody have a great night. Go Birds, and let's go Phillies.
Go Birds, go Phillies.